guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So this video is a get ready with me video. I know it's really basic, but I didn't know what to do for my first video, so welcome to my channel. I know this is really weird for those of you that actually know me that are watching. So basically this channel is going to be filled with like fashion and beauty and like life hacks and like stuff like this, like get ready with me, just like fun videos. And I don't expect to like blow up or anything, but here we are. Welcome. I don't know what to call my channel yet, but Sally, stop trolling.
Get the shots. I'm trying not to get the shot, y'all, okay?
Oh my god. Anyway, here we go. This is gonna be a really chill video. So I mean,
me crawling across.
I feel like this is the only channel that you're gonna go on where you don't feel like you have to act or be a certain way. You can just come and watch and like, this is just my life, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna try to like be anything I'm not, or like be like too much, I guess. And I'm not like a YouTuber, I guess you would call it. So here we are. Okay, so first when I do my makeup, I always put on moisturizer, and there's not much to it. Like, I literally just put it all over my face. Like, literally, as you can tell, like, I'm literally putting it everywhere. Okay, so the second thing I do when I do my makeup is my primer. And when I put my primer on, I always put it on my T-zone, and I always put it on my cheekbones, and I always put it on my chin. And that's just usually where like my pores personally stand out and like to make an appearance. So I put it on those places. Also, when I do put on my primer, I always pat it into my skin, and I always like blend it into my skin, so I make sure that it gets all the way and seeps into my pores so that my skin is very smooth for the foundation. So next, I go straight to my eyes, and I brush up my hairs in an upward motion with the spoolie so that I can get a natural look. And what I've also learned about doing makeup is do your eyes first, because if you have any fallout from your eyeshadow, you can just go ahead and clean that up before you move on to your face. And so next, I use a brow gel, and I just push it up in the same orderly manner, just upwards so it looks nice and natural. And I'm like, ooh, girl, that looks good. And then after I brush them up with brow gel, after I brush them up with a spoolie, I go ahead and move on to filling in my eyebrows. Okay, so after I fully finish filling in my eyebrows, which takes forever, I go ahead and put concealer and shape them and put it all around my eyebrows just to make them, you know, really nice and slick and defined. usually after I put on my concealer and clean up my eyebrows, I put on loose finishing powder. Any type of powder works to lock in that concealer into place to make sure my eyeshadow is smooth. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with the eyeshadow, and I'm going to be doing a light brown smoky eye just for fall. I think it looks really pretty for fall, and I start off with a light brownish orangey type color to transition into the brown and the darker browns, and I just literally put that all over my eyelid. Okay, so after I put that light brown orange color all over my eyelid, I go ahead and start putting a darker brown in my crease and a little bit on my eyelid, and I just make sure it's really blended and so it looks really nice and smoky. Okay, so after I put the darker brown on my crease and on my eyelid, I'm going to mix that same color brown and mix it with an even darker brown and put it closer to my lash line. Also, sometimes it doesn't look very natural and it doesn't look very blended. So sometimes I take that lighter orangey brown and I mix it with the brown and I blend it all over my eyelid just to make sure it looks really good. Okay, so once I'm finished up with my eyeshadow, I go ahead and start off my foundation, and you can see what foundation I use there. And I mix it with my moisturizer because, you know, it's dry season for skin because it's winter. And I mix that with a wet beauty blender, and I dab it all over my face. Okay, so after I make sure all of my foundation is blended and smooth, I start next with my concealer, and I mix my concealer also with moisturizer just to make sure it looks really good. And so I put that under my eyes, and I make sure that's blended, and I put it on the ridge of my nose, and I put it sometimes on my chin and sometimes on my forehead. amazing trick I've learned by doing makeup is after you do your foundation and concealer, you always want to let it dry so that when you do your powder, it doesn't make your foundation look super cakey. Okay, so after my foundation and concealer have fully dried, I go ahead and start off with the powder, and I use the Fit Me Finishing Loose Powder, and it is amazing. And so basically I take that powder and I use my Morphe brush, and I put it underneath my eyes and everywhere that honestly just needs powder. Okay, so after I'm finished with my powder, I go ahead and take the bronzer, which I use the butter bronzer, and you can literally get it anywhere. It's so good, so cheap. And I actually use a contour brush to do my bronzer just because it's way more defined and it just looks really good with bronzer. Okay, so after I do my bronzer, I go ahead and start off with my contour, and yes, I'm crying because I'm almost out of contour. Anyways, so I put it right on my cheekbone, and I try to stay far away from my mouth as I can, and I always blend upward. And after my contour, I always take that same finishing powder and I do a very sharp line underneath my contour, and I let it bake for about 10 minutes, and it just creates a really good definition and line that makes it look really good. Okay, so after the contour, here comes my favorite part. As you can tell, I'm smiling. And yes, I'm almost out of blush too. And I actually use a stippling brush, and it works so good, so natural, so amazing. And blush is really simple. You just basically put it on your cheeks, and I love it. Sometimes I put it on my nose, sometimes I put it on my forehead, you know. I just love blush. It's amazing. And I don't really have like a reason for this. I just kind of put on Carmex whenever I find the time or like a break. And Carmex is really good. I recommend you to go buy it. Okay, so next is a really important part that I usually forget, but gladly I remembered. But I usually take my crease corner, or a middle color, I guess you would say, in the smoky eye, and I put it underneath my eyes. Okay, so next comes highlighter, which is also one of my favorite parts. And I first start off with inner corner highlight, and I mix a few shimmery shades in my palette. And I love inner corner highlight because it makes your eyes look so good. So next, I use the same highlight I used for my inner corner, and I just put it on top of my Cupid's bow. Okay, so the next part of my highlight, I use the same highlight and I mix it all together. I'm like, well, that looks good. And I put it on top of my cheekbones, and I put it on top of my forehead, and on the top of my nose, and some more on top of my lip, and some more on top of my chin. And I literally just kind of just put it all over my face because I just love highlights. Okay, so after my highlight, I go ahead and move on to eyeliner, and I use black eyeshadow as eyeliner because liquid eyeliner is not my thing. And I put it on my waterline, and I use my upper and lower waterline just to make my eyes look bolder, and I put a thin line on my lash line. Okay, so another tip I have is with eyeliner, when you are doing a smoky eye, just take a blending brush and blend out your eyeliner so that it looks much more smoky, and it just creates the look. I think it looks so good. Okay, so here comes the part that takes the longest, and we all love it, but we all hate it at the same time. So this is the mascara, and there's really not much to this. I don't even curl my lashes because they're already naturally curled, and it doesn't really do anything. And honestly, I just kind of put it on my eyelashes, and I try to make it look as natural as possible. Okay, so the last part is lipstick, and I am using Kylie's lipstick, and I am just going to put it on my lips. That's all there is to it. Okay, so actually the last part is setting spray, and I just use Wet n Wild Natural Finish, and the setting spray is amazing. I love it. Okay, so this is the final look. I hope you'll like this, and I will have a proper outro in a second. Okay, hey guys, so I just changed and obviously I finished my makeup. You saw it on the video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. This is my first video and I really hope that you enjoyed it. And I'm just so thankful for finally being able to do this, because for so long I was just like, well, you know, what are they gonna think of me? Like, I don't even know what to do. Like, I can't afford a camera, like a million things. So I really appreciate everybody that watched this fully through. So we're about to go to First Wednesday. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I hope you like this video, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna have more videos like this that are a little bit better because I was in a rush for this one, but I hope you enjoy my video and have an amazing day.